Lower-income communities, communities of color, are often in the neighborhoods that suffer the most from what are called heat islands. There's less greenery, there's less trees, there's less protection from the extremes of climate change, the extremes in temperature. It is our communities that bear the daily impact and the brunt of all the effects of climate change.
Well, for people of color, it's a different story. We have polluted air, we have contaminated water, and people have to drink it, cook with it, and bathe with it. You know, we get left with what's left behind.
Remember that if we don't have access to clean air, clean water, or healthy communities, what are we fighting for?
Chispa is about building power. It's about building power of everyday families who are impacted by dirty air, by dirty water, who want to fight climate change and ensure that we've got a planet that we can call home for future generations.
Communities of color and Latino communities are often the ones impacted by environmental injustice for something as simple as air. Honestly, we can't afford inhalers. Imagine adding another layer of just being undocumented. That's why it's so important to me to continue to do the work that I do, and that's what we're fighting for, right? These communities are the ones that we're fighting for against environmental injustice.
Yo lucho por el medio ambiente porque para mí es un tema personal. La contaminación ha afectado a mis hijas. La ha afectado porque ellas tienen asma. Entonces ellas desde que no agarran el bus escolar, ellas se han sentido mejor. Pero no es suficiente, para nada ha sido suficiente. Aquí cerquitas tenemos fábricas, gasolineras, talleres, que si no sabemos qué tanto nos contamina, decimos es normal, pero todo eso que respiramos nos está afectando poco a poco, a tal grado de que si nos movemos a un lugar ya vamos enfermos. Yo lo que hago es salir a mi comunidad, toco puertas, les informo, les invito a mis comités donde hacemos cafecitos, vienen amigos, familia, vecinos, gente que no conozco que sea de la comunidad. Y entonces ahí les damos las herramientas para que ellos puedan luchar por un medio ambiente limpio, porque tenemos ese derecho, ya basta de la contaminación, queremos una justicia ambiental, que es nuestro derecho.
When I started organizing with Chispa, I was doing voter registration, and I was recruiting volunteers and young volunteers because I was a young person, but I couldn't vote. I was not a US citizen at the time, so I was able to recruit people like Alexa, who she started as an intern, she helped us with voter registration, she became a volunteer, she did the promotores training, and we were able to bring her on as a youth organizer just recently. And it was important for me to have someone who could also share her story, but now I just became a US citizen. So I'll be registering to vote, I will be voting for the first time, and it's important to have my voice heard and to have that representation.
With Chispa, we're part of something big. Indeed, we're working in everyday grassroots communities, be it in Vegas and Phoenix, but these communities are connected up. They're connected with one another, they're connected with their counterparts in Maryland and Connecticut. But moreover, we know that the fights and the struggles that are bearing out in our neighborhoods and in our communities, these aren't isolated incidents. There are patterns of environmental injustice and patterns of environmental racism that need to be fought at the halls of Congress.
Our earth is worth fighting for. Our air is worth fighting for. Our communities are worth fighting for.